Ben Napier has always been the heart of HGTV's Home Town. With his warm smile, towering presence, and old-school craftsmanship, he became the kind of person viewers felt they knew. The neighbor everyone wishes they had. But behind that charm and sawdust-covered grin lies a story few fans have ever heard. One filled with faith, fear, health battles, and the price of fame. Before Home Town became a national comfort show, Ben Napier's world looked very different. He was born in Mississippi, raised in a family deeply rooted in religion. Both of his parents were ministers, and faith wasn't just something they practiced, it was their way of life. From an early age, Ben believed he'd follow that same path. He studied theology, served in church programs, and even became a youth minister. He preached, organized community events, and genuinely loved helping others find meaning in their lives. But there was another part of him quietly growing: his fascination with woodworking. Even as a young man, Ben loved taking old, forgotten pieces of furniture and turning them into something beautiful. He didn't just repair things, he revived them. People began to notice. Compliments turned into small requests, and small requests became side jobs. Soon he realized that his heart was in the smell of cedar, the scrape of sandpaper, and the satisfaction of creating something lasting. He faced a decision that would define his life: stay in ministry or pursue his passion for building. And so, with faith still guiding him, Ben stepped away from the pulpit and into the workshop. Around that time, he met the woman who would change everything, Erin. Their connection was instant, full of creativity, humor, and shared dreams. Together, they built not just a marriage, but a mission: to restore old houses and breathe life back into their hometown of Laurel, Mississippi. When HGTV discovered them, Home Town was born. The show wasn't flashy. It wasn't about drama or competition. It was about love. Love for family, community, and craftsmanship. Ben and Erin transformed forgotten houses into warm, inviting homes that told stories of their past. For viewers, every reveal felt like a celebration of small-town America. But success came with challenges. As Home Town grew, the demands on Ben's body and mind grew too. Long hours in the workshop, constant filming schedules, and the pressure to deliver perfection took a toll. By 2014, Ben realized he was struggling with his health. He was always a big man, strong, broad, and cheerful. But the weight had started affecting his energy, his sleep, and even his heart. He wanted to be there for his wife and their young daughter, Helen, and he knew something had to change. So, he made one of the hardest commitments of his life: to rebuild himself. He began eating clean, cutting out processed food, and giving up his weakness for fried bacon and sweet Southern breakfasts. He introduced daily workouts, cardio, weight training, and long walks around Laurel. Over time, the transformation was remarkable. Ben lost 55 pounds, not for vanity, but for love. He wanted to live long enough to see his daughters grow up. But while he was rebuilding his health, another challenge was quietly creeping into his life, one that would shake his sense of safety to the core. In 2022, a strange man moved into their neighborhood. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but soon the man's behavior became disturbing. He dressed in strange costumes, claimed to be sent by God, and began leaving toys for Ben's young daughters. The man told people he was there to protect the women of the town, especially Ben's little girl, Helen. It was a nightmare no parent could imagine. Ben and Erin acted quickly. They hired private security, kept their children off social media, and worked closely with local authorities. The town rallied behind them, filing complaints and warning others. Thankfully, the man was eventually investigated and forced to leave. Still, the emotional scars of that time lingered. Ben admitted later that he'd never felt fear like that before, not even on camera. After the incident, the Napiers became fiercely protective of their family's privacy. Their daughters rarely appear on Home Town, and when they do, their faces are often blurred. Ben said it's important for them to grow up with a choice, to live a normal childhood, far from the scrutiny of fame. Then came another personal battle. Years of physical labor had taken a toll on Ben's body, especially his shoulder. The pain grew unbearable until he could no longer ignore it. What started as a dull ache became an injury that required surgery. Doctors found bone spurs and damaged cartilage, the result of decades of heavy woodworking. In early 2023, he underwent an operation to repair his shoulder. The recovery was long and difficult. Ben couldn't lift tools, couldn't film, and at times could barely sleep. But he stayed patient. With Erin by his side and a physical therapist guiding him, he slowly rebuilt his strength. When he returned to hometown, fans immediately noticed his renewed energy and his gratitude. Ben said the experience reminded him of what truly mattered: family, faith, and health. Despite his fame, Ben remains deeply grounded. He still spends his mornings in the workshop, crafting furniture by hand. He and Aaron continue renovating historic homes across Laurel, helping families rediscover the beauty of small-town living. Off camera, they run businesses that support local craftsmen and sell products made in Mississippi. Their passion for community never wavered. It only deepened. Yet, even now, Ben is careful about fame. He knows how quickly success can blur boundaries. That's why he avoids excessive social media use, spends time outdoors, and prioritizes quiet family moments. He's learned that peace isn't found in the spotlight. It's found at home. His faith remains a guiding force. Though he's no longer a minister, Ben says his work has its own kind of ministry, creating spaces where families can grow, love, and heal. He's helping people find a sense of belonging, one restored house at a time. For fans wondering where he's been, the answer is simple. Ben Napier has never really left. He's just been living life away from the noise, protecting his family, recovering his health, and focusing on what matters most. Behind the cameras, he's still the same craftsman with a gentle heart and a deep sense of purpose. Today, he and Aaron continue to build not just homes, but hope. They remind us that small towns still matter, that hard work still means something, and that kindness can transform more than just houses. It can transform people. The truth behind Ben Napier's story isn't about fame, fear, or fortune. It's about resilience. He's a man who faced health scares, family threats, and burnout, and turned them all into lessons about strength and grace. As Hometown enters its next chapter, Ben stands taller than ever, not just as a builder, but as a protector, a father, and a symbol of what it means to build a meaningful life from the ground up. Because at the end of the day, the greatest renovation Ben Napier ever made wasn't on a house. It was on himself. If you were moved by Ben Napier's incredible story of resilience, love, and faith, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another untold story from the world of HGTV. Tell us in the comments what you admire most about Ben and Aaron's journey, their craftsmanship, their courage, or their devotion to family, and share this video with someone who believes that real strength is built at home, one day and one decision at a time. If you want to stay updated on all things HGTV, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. All right, let's jump back in. If you want to stay updated on all things HGTV, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. All right, let's jump back in.